My name is Damien Hernon, Campus Director. I was appointed in November 2020 as the Interim Director, and in March 21 I was appointed as the Permanent Director. I have a long history on the Oberstown campus. I started here in 1991 as a PE teacher, and I've worked my way up through the ranks to further my education to allow me to fulfil this position and meet the requirements of this position. The Director's role is very broad, the breadth is fairly significant, and from a legislative perspective there are huge powers associated with the Director's role in terms of responsibility for the campus and also acting as a local apprentice for the young people. I walk in here every morning, I smile, and people ask me how I am, and I say I'm magnificent, because I take great pride in what we do here. I take great pleasure in and privilege in getting to work with these young people and the staff who support them, because we know that an acorn goes into an oak tree, but we see kids coming in here who can't tie their shoelaces, who can't spell their name, who can't dress themselves, and after a period of 6, 9, 12 months or whatever, they've become that oak tree into a big, tall young man who can hold a conversation with whoever comes into the campus, who can tie their shoelaces, who can write their name, who can do exams. Getting that young person from point A to point B, and it'll be a different journey for every one of them, is significant. As a spotlight service, it's really important that we safeguard each other and we safeguard the young people here. Our cargo is fairly precious. You know, it's probably one of the most vulnerable group of young people that exist in the country. Not to diminish that they're offending or the offences that they've been charged with in any way, or not to make light of any of the victims that have suffered as a result of the young people's behaviour. But there is a whole catalogue behind the young people, and part of our responsibility is to understand this behaviour, help them address the behaviour so they can maximise their potential and return to society. We have so many different individual needs here, individual complex needs that range from primary care issues to literacy issues to anger management, learning disabilities, physical disabilities, mental health issues, substance issues. This is an example of some of the complexity that the young people bring with them. But the capacity to be able to manage that in an intensive way, the capacity to be able to manage that through key working sessions with our care workers, through placement planning sessions, by setting smart, achievable goals on a 5 or 6 week basis, by creating a rhythm and a routine for the young people, you give them goals to work towards. We have a very, very successful relationship with Goshka and the President's Award. This is something that we've built over time, and it's gathered momentum. And we're very fortunate to have good connections in Goshka. We've numerous amounts of bronze and silver medals, but we've achieved 3 gold medals over the last 2 or 3 years. It's not about the medals sometimes, it's the journey that they've taken. The journey of completing a project and getting through the whole President's Award process is huge for the young people. I know a number of years ago, President Higgins was on the campus, and he was very clear in the intent of the President's Award that it was to be inclusive. It wasn't for those who were in private schools or who had lots of money. It was to be inclusive, and it was to bring every layer of society, to allow every layer of society access to this. So the relationship we have with them has gone from strength to strength. And it's great to see, because when I talk about maximising potential, if we accept that the kids get their junior certs, some of them get their leaving certs, some of them have catering qualifications, Safe Pass, etc., etc. This is another accreditation, qualification. It's another tool in their belt that will help them when they leave here. A journalist who contacted us early this year, he wanted to do a piece on the campus. So we invited him up to the campus, maybe late summer. He spent a couple of hours on the campus, got a good sense, got a good feel of the place, met some of the kids, met some of the staff, and produced a very good article, I would argue, in the Irish Examiner that painted the campus in a very positive light. And what was really positive for me was that the first 6 or 7 paragraphs of the article were directly out of a young person's mouth. The young person talked about how when they came here, they didn't really get it. They were a bit challenging. They fought the system, and as they progressed on their journey here, they realised that actually people are here to help me. People are here to care for me. And the actual title of the article was, "There are good people who work here. They really care for you." So that's a really positive affirmation of all the work that goes on here, from the back door to the front door, in relation to all the staff who impact on a daily basis with the young people. It wouldn't be possible without the collaboration, the co-creation that goes on here, from care staff, from activities, and from the teaching staff. The support teams, really back up what goes on here. And I'm really encouraged when visitors come here and they talk about how clean the place looks, how well the place looks, how they're greeted by everybody, how everybody meets them with a smile, how everybody's open, how everybody speaks to them. I think around 80% of the people working on the campus work within a 14-minute commute, so they live within 30 miles of here. You could condense that even more and say there's probably 50% live within 15 miles. So in terms of the local community and the local economy, Oberstown as an employer contributes to that on a regular basis, so that's really important. And it often strikes me that people drive by here on a daily basis and they've no notion, no idea of what goes on in Oberstown. Part of our responsibility is to address that narrative, is to change that narrative, to let people know what goes on, to allow the outside world in some regard. And I suppose part and parcel of how I operate is face-to-face with people. It's probably the preferred line of communication. And especially in a place like Oberstown, relationships are key to what we do. So the more we can be face-to-face with people, the better the relationships will be, the better the productivity will be, and the better the outcomes for everyone will be. What I haven't spoken about is kids who've left here who've gone on to be really successful. And part of our challenge sometimes is, and because males have a stunted maturity, we don't mature until we hit a certain age, and I'm not sure what that age is. So some of the lessons that the kids learn here will not impact on them until they're in their mid to late 20s. And we know of children, or young people, or they're adults now, who are gainfully employed, who are married, who have children, and who've left this world behind them. And some of the support that we've provided to the young people here is what's made that impact. So our responsibility to give them as much intensive support as we can during their time here is really important, because it becomes impactful for them later on in life. And I think we have to remember that sometimes we don't see the immediate change. It's not like flicking on a switch. It takes time. The kids have to mature.